Okay, ma'am. Now we are going to discuss about the RTP in relation to November 2022 attempt, ma'am. In that, we are going to discuss about indirect taxes, that is our GST here. With respect to that, the first point is in relation to a case study based on MCQs, ma'am. So we will see those things first here. Delight Brothers, a partnership firm, is engaged in restaurant service. It is registered under composition levy. If at all you are a registered person under the composition levy, the rate of tax will be 1% for you. And in the same way, its turnover for the month of April was 12 lakhs. In the month of May, it received some new orders to run a mess facility for supplying the food at Vishwas Public School, higher secondary school, that is with respect to school. Any food facility, is it exempted or taxable? Exempted. And in the same way, Knowledge Institute of Technology, Engineering College, mess facility to Engineering College is taxable. And even catering or mess facility to a hospital, if the hospital canteen was outsourced, then also it is taxable. So in this total new orders, only with respect to school it is exempted. And it also provided catering services to Coral Limited for their AGM. It provided the services on July 3rd, but invoice was not issued. Whereas the payment was received on July 25th, and whereas money was credited in the bank account was on July 28th. So what can be the date of payment here? With respect to date of payment, what is the position? With respect to date of payment, what is the position? With respect to date of payment, the position will be here in this case. In this case, the position will be with respect to that date of payment, that is July 25th, or money credited in the bank account July 28th, whichever is earlier. July 25th will be the date of payment. This date of payment will be compared with the date of invoice if invoice is issued within 30 days. But here invoice is not issued within 30 days now. In that case, date of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. What is the date of service? July 3rd. What is the date of payment? July 25th. Whichever is earlier, July 3rd will be the time of supply. And from the inception of the next financial year, Delight Brothers will close down the restaurant service and will provide the repairing services of ACs. Based on information below, all those are the intrastate supplies only. Based on information given above, choose the most appropriate answer for the following questions. Compute the tax liability of Delight Brothers for the month of April. These are the options that are given. 6,000, 12,000, 30,000 and 60,000 here. With respect to this, what is the turnover in the month of April? 12 lakhs. So what is the answer here? On the 12 lakhs, 1% it will be 12,000, that is CGST 1 and SGST 1, 6,000 rupees will be the answer here. CGST and SGST of 6,000 rupees each will be the answer for this. Second one, out of the new orders received by the firm in May, which of the following services are exempt from GST? Already I told you that only with respect to school they are exempted. So only first case only exempted. That is option C. And rest of the cases it is not exempted. Okay, next one. Time of supply of catering services. I already told you, here invoice is not issued within 30 days. Therefore, date of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Date of service, what is the date of service? July 3rd. What is the date of payment? July 25th. Whichever is earlier, July 3rd. That will be the time of supply. Next, fourth one here. Which of the following statement is the most appropriate in respect of the next financial year of Delight Brothers? Delight Brothers can avail the composition scheme under 10.1 and 10.2. No, not possible, because from the next financial year onwards, they are discontinuing the restaurant service. Instead of that, they are making exclusive supply of repairs of ACs. If at all you are exclusive supplier of service other than restaurant service, in those cases, you are not eligible for 10.1 and 10.2. Instead of that, you should move to 10 subsection 2A. So the answer will be here option C. Delight Brothers is not eligible to avail the composition levy under 10.1 and 10.2, but can avail the benefit of composition levy under section 10.2A. That is the answer. Okay. Next question here. Rate of GST applicable for repairs of ACs by Delight Brothers will be dash, assuming that it intends to pay tax under minimum rate available. That means what is the rate of tax as per 10(2)(a)? 6% ma. 6% is the answer here. Okay. This is question number 5 ma. And next sixth one will be here. Nilkant Private Limited, a registered supplier of the goods and services at Kolkata, has furnished the following information for the month of Feb. Intrastate supply of taxable goods, including 1 lakh received as advance in January. The invoice for the entire sale value is issued on Feb 15th. So definitely you are liable to pay GST on that. Purchase of the goods from composition dealer. In that case, you cannot claim the IDC. Services provided by way of labor contracts for repairing a single residential unit otherwise than as a part of residential complex, generally it will be exempted. Membership of a club, IDC allowed or not allowed ma? Generally IDC not allowed on them. And next one will be here, goods transport services received from GTA. GD is payable at the rate of 12%. If at all you are paying GST at the rate of 12%, then FCM applicable or RCM applicable? FCM will be applicable. And training of recreational activities, if at all it is intrastate, definitely it can be exempted. Interstate security services to ABC school for their annual function organized in an auditorium, definitely it can be taxable. Inputs here received in lots, but here we received only second lot. IDC is allowed only upon the receipt of last lot only. And opening IDC balances are given. Apart from that, the turnover was 2.5 crore. That means he is not eligible for composition scheme in the current year. How much GST you need to pay? That was the question here. We need to see that one. If you want to see the answer for that, see this ma. If at all it is a intrastate supply. So with respect to the first one, what is the first point here? See this. Intrastate supply of taxable services. Here outward supplies details are given ma. 1 lakh was received in advance, or the supply of the goods or supply of service ma. Supply of the goods. When you receive advance in relation to goods, you are not liable to pay GST at the time of receipt of advance. Therefore, on that 1 lakh, previously you did not make the payment of GST ma. Therefore, including that 1 lakh, on the total 4 lakhs at present now, you are liable to pay the GST. Okay. That's why on 4 lakhs, what is the rate of GST ma? That is 9% CGST and 9% SGST. And second one will be purchase of the goods from a composition dealer registered in Kolkata. In that case, you cannot claim the IDC there. Services received by a labor contractor for repairing a single residential unit. Single residential unit, definitely it will be taxable ma. So what is the amount here? 1 lakh, on the 1 lakh 9% CGST and 9% SGST. Next point will be here. Membership of a club, generally IDC not allowed. And services provided received from GTA here. And GST is payable at the rate of 12%, that means FCM. Under FCM, GTA will pay the GST. There is no need to pay GST by the recipient here, so you can ignore it. And training in recreational to sports. With respect to that one ma, see with respect to recreational activities, if at all they are provided by the charitable entities, then only it is exempted ma. Here, it is not provided by the charitable organization ma. Definitely, therefore, is it exempted or taxable ma? Taxable. Being interstate, IGST is needed to be paid. Next one, interstate security services. Generally, with respect to school, it can be exempted ma. If at all it is provided at school campus, but outside the campus, definitely it is taxable. Within the premises of school, it is exempted. Therefore, is it exempted or taxable ma? Definitely it is taxable. This is the total GST that is payable. Okay. So, for that, opening IDC was given in the problem. Whereas with respect to composition supplies, we cannot claim the IDC. And membership of a club, blocked credits ma. Whereas with respect to GDA services, here supplier will pay the GST, but definitely can claim that amount as ITC na. Therefore, that 27,000 definitely can claim it as ITC. Okay. Whereas here the inputs are received in installments, here we received only second lot, therefore no ITC is allowed. So this is the total ITC that is available. So based on that, these are the output taxes already we computed, and this is ITC ma. Total ITC with respect to IGST it is 74,000, and whereas IGST payable is only 4,500. Rest of the surplus IGST, ITC we can utilize it for CGST or SGST in any ratio, in any manner. In that case, what is the position ma? Definitely that remaining balance of 74,000, 4,500, remaining balance will be 69,500 ma. This 69,500 can be used to pay CGST or SGST. Okay. Here, but here SGST ITC was not there na, so that's why we are utilizing it for SGST first. So what is SGST output tax payable ma? 45,000. In that 69,500 we are utilizing 45,000 for the payment of SGST. And how much is the remaining balance ma? In that 69,45 means 24,500 now will be used to pay CGST, and remaining balance will be paid out of CGST ITC ma. So this is the total amount. So therefore the total amount that is needed to be paid in cash will be 0. That is the thing. Very simple one. Next one will be here. Question number 7. RIMGIM sales, a registered supplier receives. So RIMGIM sales, a registered supplier receives 100 invoices for inward supply of the goods or services involving GST of 10 lakhs from various suppliers during the month of January 22. Out of 100 invoices, the details of 80 invoices involving GST of 6 lakhs have been furnished by the supplier in their respective GSTR ones on the prescribed due date, and such details have been duly communicated to the recipients in the of such invoices in form number GSTR 2B. Compute the ITC that can be claimed by RIMGIM sales in its GSTR 3B for the month of January 2022 to be filed by 20th Feb, assuming that GST of 10 lakhs is otherwise eligible for ITC. So what about the answer for this question ma here? Here generally, previously the point is, whatever the invoices that are uploaded by the supplier in his GSTR1, with respect to those invoices, you can claim 100% of the ITC. But whereas with respect to the invoices that are not uploaded, previously you can claim 5% of eligible ITC as a ITC ma. But here after amendment, the invoices which are not uploaded, now you cannot claim the ITC at all. Now you cannot claim the ITC at all on the invoices that are not uploaded. Based on that, here 80 invoices are uploaded ma. So with respect to them, 100% ITC, definitely you can claim it. 100% ITC you can claim it ma. But whereas 20 invoices that are not furnished, you cannot claim even that 5% also. So with respect to the invoices that are uploaded, you can claim ITC of 100%. But whereas with respect to the invoices that are not uploaded by the supplier in his GSTR1, previously you can claim 5%. At present, you cannot claim the ITC. Here, with respect to those 20, you cannot claim them. Definitely, you cannot claim. Now, next, 8th one. Examine whether the supplier of the goods is liable to get registered in the following independent cases. Okay, ma'am. Rudra Builders of Rohini, Delhi is exclusively engaged in intrastate taxable supply of building bricks ma. Its aggregate turnover in the current financial year is 23 lakhs. So what is the position ma? So with respect to intrastate taxable supplies ma, is aggregate turnover with respect to Delhi. If at all you are making exclusive supply of the goods, what is the answer ma with respect to that? Say this. If at all you are making exclusive supply of the goods, in those cases, what is the position, ma? Definitely, yes. If at all you exclusive supplier of the goods, 40 lakhs is the limit. But whereas, this is the amendment that came, fly ash bricks, building bricks, roofing tiles, ice cream, pan masala, tobacco, all these item people are not eligible for this 40 lakhs limit. They are liable for registration when their turnover crossed 20 lakhs limit instead of 40. In this case, with respect to Rudra Brothers, even though the turnover of 40 lakhs limit was not exceeded, but whereas they are producing the building bricks, that's why 20 lakhs is the registration limit and their turnover is 23. Therefore, they are liable to get the registration. Okay, ma, that is the point. Okay. Next question will be here. Fashion Queen Limited, registered under GST. Sorry, another one is there. Here of Himachal Pradesh is exclusively engaged in intrastate taxable supply of the footwear. His turnover in the current financial year from Himachal showroom is 32 lakhs. He has another showroom in Nagaland with the turnover of 11 lakhs in the current financial year. So, with respect to Nagaland, what is the registration limit, ma? With respect to Nagaland, say this, 10 lakhs. When you are having multiple place of businesses in different states, and if one of that place is there in the special category state, automatically the registration limit will be reduced to the special category state registration limit. Here with respect to Nagaland, what is the registration limit, ma? 10 lakhs. Therefore, what is the limit that will be applicable, ma? 10 lakhs is the limit that will be applicable. So, therefore, is he liable or not liable, ma? Yes, is required to obtain the registration. In which states is required to obtain the registration, sir? Both states. In how many number of states is providing the taxable supply, that many number of RCs is required to take. Here is providing taxable supplies from both the states of Himachal Pradesh and Nagaland. Therefore, is liable to take the registration in both the states. Okay, ma'am. Next one will be ninth one. 9A, Fashion Queen Limited, registered under GST and dealing in baby products, has an aggregate turnover of 40 lakhs in the preceding financial year. The tax consultant advised it to issue e-invoice mandatorily. However, Fashion Queen is of the view that since its aggregate turnover is less than the threshold limit for invoicing, it is not required to do so. You are required to comment upon the validity of the advice that is given by tax consultant. What is your answer? Previously, e-invoicing concept is applicable when your turnover from 17-18 onwards in any preceding financial year, starting from 17-18 exceeds 50 crores, you are liable for e-invoicing. Okay, but whereas that 50 lakhs was now reduced to 50 crores was now reduced to 20 crores. Therefore, if at all any business person turnover starting from 17-18 onwards exceeds 20 crores, in case of B2B supplies, is required to issue the e-invoice. Therefore, here it has exceeded the threshold limit of 20 crore. E-invoicing is mandatory. That is the point. Next one. Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, a government department registered under GST has aggregate turnover of 52 crores. You are required to comment whether the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology is required to issue e-invoice. Whereas, when your turnover exceeds 20 crores, e-invoicing is mandatory in respect of B2B. But whereas with respect to this government departments, they are exempted from issuing e-invoice. This is the point, see this. Okay, special economic zones, insurance, GTA, passenger transportation service, multiplex movie theaters, and in the same way, government departments and local authorities. They are based on that. Even though their turnover exceeds, they are not required to issue any e-invoice. Okay, ma'am. And next one will be Aadhaar authentication is not required for the persons who are already registered under GST examine and discuss the correctness of the statement, you are required to elaborate the relevant legal provisions. Generally, Aadhaar authentication is required to both the persons. So therefore, the given statement is incorrect. Aadhaar authentication has been made mandatory whether for the new registrants or as for the existing people also. Okay. Every person is required to take the, yes, link the Aadhaar with the GST number. And even the business of series, a registered person who has been issued a certificate of registration under GST shall undergo Aadhaar authentication if it all is a proprietorship firm, proprietor, partnership firm, any partner, HUF Karta, company managing director or whole-time director, or any managing committee or any association is there, any of those members with respect to trustees. These are the people to Aadhaar authentication with respect to those organizations. Okay, this is the point with respect to that, and this RTP is majorly based on the recent amendments. So definitely there is a possibility, every possibility that a question can be asked from these RTP questions, because most of these RTP questions which are given in November 2022 are based on amendments. All of you know that amendments are more important. That's why please keep focus on this RTP 2022. So all the best to all of you for your November 2022 exams. Bye to all.